Okay, so Wolves play Arsenal on Tuesday in a video that I wasn't actually expecting to be recording today because I thought we'd be playing Watford, but you know, things happen. But yeah, I actually think this is a good thing for Wolves. Obviously, we'd all love to be playing Watford today on Boxing Day, but I don't think this is a bad thing. With how tiny our squad is, and obviously the Afcon needing to get people in for this Man United game in January. I don't think this is a bad thing. Watford getting called off. Obviously, we all want to play on Boxing Day, but Arsenal's a game that needs more preparation. Arsenal, as I'm recording this, are playing Norwich in about 20 minutes' time. So I don't think this is a bad thing at all. I think it's actually a good thing. This game, if we had played Watford, we'd probably have to play Keanu Herver, maybe risking Eight Nuri getting injured, and then Donker maybe even Fabio would have got a game. We don't need to anymore. We can go full strength. Against, I don't know what Arsenal's lineup is. I haven't actually checked, but I assume it'll be a weakened one. Maybe I don't actually know if Arteta's going to rotate or not. But this is a big chance for us. I assume the Watford game will get put on sometime in February, in kind of midweek. That's fine. I'd back us to beat Watford midweek more than Arsenal with 1 day's rest. This is the lineup I'd go with. Obviously, not going to change the back three or the goalkeeper. I'd bring back Semedo. I thought Keanu played really well against Chelsea, but as good as he did play, and I assume that was just for rotation, probably with the Watford game in mind, to be honest, but not happening anymore. I play Marcel, not because I think he's better than Eight Nuri. I feel like I made that very clear. I don't think that. But Marcel's just, with Eight Nuri's injury, if he's back fit and fully available, fine, play Eight Nuri, but I don't really want to risk injuries personally, so I wouldn't play him. I don't think Arsenal are very good, by the way. Like I know Bruno could play like Dendonka here or something, but go for that midfield three like he's done against Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City. I don't think Arsenal are very good. I'll speak out why in a minute, but I think this is a very winnable game. Arsenal do have a good home record, but I want us to play front three especially against a side that is playing on Boxing Day, the day after Christmas. So I'd back us to win this anyway. So play front three, play Jimenez, play Podence, play Traore. I wouldn't play Trincao. Although I think Trincao will play this game, by the way. I think Traore will be on the bench, which I think would be a mistake, by the way, because I think Traore always plays really well at the Emirates, off the top of my head anyway. But that would be the team I'd go with. I don't think the only one that you could maybe bring in is Eight Nuri, but I don't really know what his injury situation is. Obviously, Arsenal are above us in the league, but they've played more games than all three of the sides below them. I don't think Arsenal are the fourth best side in the Premier League. I think they're very. I'm not saying they're awful. They're on a decent little run, albeit they did lose to Everton and Man United before that little run. But and I'm not saying they're an awful side or anything, but I don't think they're that good. They're very beatable. I think they're kind of on the level of. They're a bit better than us, but I don't think they're that much better. And with the lack of rest that they'll have, I think this should be a very winnable game. I think we should attack them to a decent level, and I'd be kind of disappointed if we didn't win this game. Obviously, Arsenal have a very good home record. They've only lost once at home this season. I can't remember who that was against. Obviously, they scored 27 goals, which is something we probably won't even do over the whole of the season. But they've also conceded 23. They're kind of just a not middling side, but they're nothing incredible. A goal difference is +4. This isn't a great Arsenal side, and the table is deceptive by games in hand. So looking at Arsenal, obviously Aaron Ramsdale's having a really good season. The only reason I've pointed this out, by the way, is because on Twitter, I'm sure a lot of you have been seeing it. There's been these debates about because obviously we're halfway through the season now, right? And a lot of people have been debating who like the best goalkeeper is and the best like team of the season is, and everyone's been putting Aaron Ramsdale in, and I don't really get why. I get Aaron Ramsdale's English, and he got bought in for big money, and he got a lot of abuse. But I'm sorry, Jose Sar's had a way better season. It still mentions me as 6.7 post-shot XG. He saved us basically 7 goals. Ramsdale's having a good season. He's a good passer, and he should be someone with pressing in the game. And it's not a weakness for Arsenal, but I just think it's mental. Jose Sar's not getting more credit. But anyway, onto Arsenal. In the air, they're not particularly dominant. They're very similar to us, so that supports the not playing Dendonka argument for me personally. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just they're not some big aerially dominant side. The only guy I can think of really in their side that is Gabriel. And by the way, Ben White's not good in the air. He never has been. I'd like to see Raul kind of target him. Don't think he will. It's not really how he played, but I'd like to see Raul Jimenez kind of rough up Ben White. In terms of possession, again, Arsenal they have a bit more possession than us per 90, which you'd expect, but it's not much more. It's only 2% more. I think Arsenal are very middling. I'll go through some more metrics in a minute, but a lot of them are very similar to ours. So they get more shots off than us, obviously, but apart from that, they're not much better. And in terms of dribbles, obviously Wolves an elite side in terms of dribbling, have the most successful dribbles in the league. We attempt the most, and referred in terms of how many of them are successful. So we're also top of the Megs tally, or second top of Megs. Not that anyone cares, but we're a good dribbling side. We can get that Arsenal side. I like Tomiyasu, I like Kieran Tierney, but you can get at those guys. It's not something Arsenal are incredibly great at dealing at. Obviously, in terms of shots, that's the one thing Arsenal are better than us at. They have so many shots compared to us, nearly 100 more, so many more shots on target, a higher percentage as well. So I just don't. By the way, we're averaging 9 shots per 90, 9.8, which is Arsenal on 14, by the way. But we're bottom now, which it's mad, isn't it? We're having less shots than Burnley, Norwich. Obviously, Nuno's Tottenham will play into these stats as well. Even Newcastle, which is mostly Bruce, that needs to go up. And I think with the rest against Arsenal, this could be a big game in terms of flipping that. Hopefully, just attack them, get some shots off. Why not? In terms of handling dribblers, Arsenal are okay. They're kind of middling, but with how many good dribbles we have and how many dribblers we have in that 11, especially if Darman plays, Arsenal are dealing with it okay, but they're not like one of the best in the league at dealing with it. And most of the sides that are top of that metric we've struggled against, Leeds, Palace, Brentford, even Everton you could throw in that. So there are things we can get out of Arsenal. And Arsenal don't really press either. They're the 4th lowest in the league. And it's not like with the other clubs that are down there, like Man City and Man United, who have higher possession. Arsenal don't really have higher possession, as we spoke about earlier. So they're not a great pressing side. Well, to be fair, when they do press, they actually do okay. But they're not. They don't press loads, which is obviously something we struggle against normally. And given they've played, by the time the game plays, they will have played 48 hours before, or even less than that, actually, because this is a 12:30 kickoff, right? So it'd probably be like 40 hours before. Arsenal aren't going to press. And I'm not saying we press like the best in the league, but we're up there. And we've been going back up recently, which is nice, because we were kind of around here a few weeks ago. But I think there's a lot. I'm not saying Arsenal are rubbish. They're not. But and they have threats. And Emile Smith-Rowe finished hittings going in recently. Although I don't really rate Emile Smith-Rowe. When you look at his underlying numbers, there's nothing really there that's spectacular. But everything he's hitting is going in right now. Bukayo Saka's great. I love Gabriel Martinelli. The defence is solid. They've got a fine goalkeeper. I think their central midfield is pretty bad, to be honest. But they are a decent side. But there's nothing about them which particularly makes me scared. Like when we played Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City. Chelsea are definitely a better side than them. And I felt we were pretty good against Chelsea. And with the Boxing Day cancellation, I'm not saying we should win this game, but assuming he plays a decent 11, we should at least get a draw. I think that'd be something good to build on going into January. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel. Give me a late Christmas present or something. But yeah, like the video, subscribe to the channel. There'll be a video after the game, and then obviously over January and transfers, etc. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and peace.